Hello again, my DIY loving friends. I'm Sarah and this is Medicated Housewife DIY, where crafting and mental health come together. If you love high-end home decor that will make your home look like $1,000,000 without spending a fortune, you're in the right place, because we're diving into budget-friendly luxury. Stunning home decor dupes from Dollar Tree. I'll show you how to transform simple Dollar Tree and other low-cost items into gorgeous high-end decor pieces. So what are you waiting for? Let's go DIY together. For this DIY, we're using a total of 140 tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree, and to start, I've laid out 40 blocks in a brick pattern so the seams are staggered. There are 8 rows of 5 blocks placed end to end, and every other row has 4 blocks plus that 5th block that we're going to cut in half. As you see right here, that makes a brick pattern. Using some Type Bond wood glue, which I will link for you below, but you can also use the super glue wood glue from Dollar Tree. I'm attaching my rows together end to end, starting with the 5 full blocks, and then the 4 blocks, then the 5 blocks, and then the 4, until all 8 rows of the full blocks are assembled. And at this point, I'm going to mark with a pencil where I'm cutting my 5th block for those 4 block rows. And I use a miter shears, which I will link for you below, to cut the 5th block in half to fill in those 4 rows consisting of 4 blocks. Hopefully that makes sense to you. It sounds more complicated than it is if you watch what I'm doing. I'm going to take these 8 rows of 5 blocks each and attach them together to make the bottom piece of our project, and it consists of 40 blocks. And then I repeat that process, so I have 2 of these 40 block rectangles, so 80 blocks total so far. One will be the bottom and one will be the top. We are creating a box shape. So on my bottom piece, I start assembling the front wall and the back wall, still doing a brick pattern with the seams staggered, and the walls are also 5 blocks wide like the bottom piece. And we will be making 4 rows each for the front and the back walls. So I am gluing each block and or half block piece directly down onto the bottom first, and then building the wall up from there. You can always pause or replay the video if you need to, but it's pretty self-explanatory if you just watch as I do it. Once I finish the 4-row tall front wall, that's 20 blocks, 5 across and 4 rows high, I do the same thing for the 4-row tall back wall. So that's 40 blocks used for the front and the back wall total. With the front and the back wall finished, I begin working on the sides. The sides are also 4 rows tall, and each row will have 2.5 blocks going across. And we are keeping the brick pattern going by alternating the placement of that half block on each row, as you can see me doing right here. I do the same thing for the other side wall, so at 4 rows tall and 2.5 blocks wide, each side wall uses 10 blocks. So 2 side walls equals 20 blocks total. And for those of you keeping track at home, we have used 140 blocks to build this box with a top. I got this folk art metallic champagne color that I will link for you below, and I love this because it's iridescent and it looks kind of like mother of pearl to me. It's very upscale, fancy looking, so I am painting the top side of my box top with this metallic color, and I am also painting the outside walls and the top edge of the box with this color. And I decided to do 2 full coats to really give the piece some shimmer. Next, I want to do a base coat of white on the inside of the box and also on the inner side of the box top. I'm using this folk art matte white, which I will link for you below. I'm going to do 2 coats of the white just as a base on the inside of the box and on the underside of the box top. Once the white dries, I'm going in with this Martha Stewart metallic gold, which I've had forever, and it really is one of my favorite gold shades. If I can still find it on Amazon, I will link it for you below. Not sure if they still make it, but if not, I will find a comparable gold shade to link for you. I'm painting over all the white with this gold shade, and I do 2 coats of it on the white part of the box top and inside the box over all of that white. I got this roll of gold metallic tape on Amazon. I'll link it for you below. It's 1/8 of an inch wide, and I'm going to cover the seams between the blocks that go vertically. So just all those short vertical seams between the blocks on the champagne shimmer painted areas. So that's the box top and the outside of the box. I use a scissors and then an X-Acto knife to trim the tape, and it actually goes on pretty easily. I thought I was going to go over the horizontal seams as well, but I decided I really like the look of just those short vertical seams instead. With the short seams covered in gold tape, I really want the outside and the box top to be glossy. I'm using this Minwax polyacrylic gloss sealer, which I will link for you below, to seal all the areas with the shimmer paint and gold tape. Not really worried about the gold painted inside of the box. Also, this sealer will help ensure that the tape will stay in place permanently. To make my box a functional opening and closing box, I need some hinges to attach the top to the bottom. I got this box of mini hinges, which I'll link for you below, but in a pinch, you can also take the hinges off of these wood boxes from Dollar Tree. They are exactly the same size as the ones I got. I use a pencil to mark the placement for the screws in the holes of the hinges, and I used my little mini USB drill to drill some small pilot holes and a tiny little screwdriver to screw the tiny screws into the holes. I ended up using 3 of the mini hinges across the back of the box, connecting the box top to the box bottom. I wanted the box to have some kind of knob or pull to open the top with, and because I really wanted to go with the mother of pearl theme, I grabbed one of these seashells you get in a bag of shells from Dollar Tree. I painted the front of the shell with the champagne shimmer paint to match the box, and then using a tiny detail brush, I used the same gold paint from the inside of the box along the edge of the shell as an accent. To keep the box from slamming closed, I cut 2 small squares of this self-adhesive cork from Dollar Tree and attached 1 square on each side of the underside of the box top so the top wouldn't slam down when I close the box. Lastly, I used some Starbond super glue, which I will link for you below, to attach my gold-rimmed shell to the front of the box top to use as a pull to open it. And this is my very glamorous shimmery gold accented box, and I really like this box. The champagne shimmer gives the Jenga blocks a really pearly kind of almost marble tile type of look. And I love that shimmer look. With the brick staggered seam pattern, I truly love the gold tape on the block seams, and honestly, the whole box gives me such a high-end vibe. Yes, this is a little more glam than my usual DIY, but as a jewelry box or trinket box in a bedroom or master bath with gold or marble accessories around, I think this is simply stunning and a really grand use of tumbling tower blocks. This next DIY is a dupe of this West Elm serving tray that retails for $68, and we are creating this for a whole lot less. I'm starting with this Dollar Tree Plus $5 wood tray, and I'm giving the inside bottom of the tray a base coat of white paint to start, and I am not painting the walls or outside of the wood. We're going to keep those the natural wood color. I made a paper template the same size as the tray, and I had 12 squares that are all 2.5 inches in size, spaced out evenly on this template. I used Canva to make the template and my regular printer, and just taped letter-sized paper together to get such a large paper size. So the template fits in the tray. I'm going to cut out the inside of all the squares with a scissors and use the inside of the squares to place my designs onto the tray bottom. I got this big pack of washi type tape in a rainbow of colors from Amazon, and I'll link it for you below. These are all 1/4 inch in width. I picked out a collection of colors I wanted to use, and here's where this is totally customizable in whatever colors you want to use to suit your style. I picked out the color combo of 4 colors I wanted and started with the first color, this navy blue. I created a square inside one of the template squares with the tape, and then decided to use 2 layers of the tape to make the color more vibrant. I created the second square inside the navy blue square using this aqua green color, and again doubled up using 2 layers of each color for more color vibrance. Third color inside the green was this peachy orange color, and we apply that the same way, double layers in a square shape inside the green square. I do the exact same thing inside all 12 of the cutout squares of my template, and I decided for the middle solid square, I did this maroon color. I placed 2 pieces of tape next to each other, making them a 1/2 inch wide, and I applied a second layer of the same color on top. Then I measured out 1/2 inch marks with pencil and cut 12 maroon squares out to place in the center of each of my 12 tape squares. I also had 6 colors of this 1/2 inch washi tape, and I decided to use the light beige color in between the 12 squares, creating a pattern. I also used 2 layers of that beige tape to make the color more vibrant. And then I placed the tape around the edge of the tray bottom, outlining the design as well. I have this light brown color from the big pack of the 1/4 inch tape colors, and I decided to run that along one of the edges of the 1/2 inch beige tape as a contrast. And I kind of just made up a design with it as I went along. The washi tape is not super sticky, and I was a little worried about it staying in place, so I grabbed my glossy polyacrylic sealer and a small brush, and I very gently brushed the sealer first over all of the taped squares, and then the tape running in between the squares. And once that dried a bit, I went over the entire tray bottom, sides, and outsides with several coats of the glossy sealer to keep everything in place and to give the whole tray a glossy sheen. And this is my West Elm dupe tray, and it's so hard to accurately show the true colors on this video for some reason, but you have to take my word for it. The colors look great on this tray. And again, you could do this with any color combo you like: pastels, brights, autumn colors. The customization possibilities are endless. Sometimes I just love bringing lots of color into a project. This next DIY is a quick and easy basket DIY. I am covering this cardboard gift box from Dollar Tree with some craft paper, also from Dollar Tree, to hide the colors, and I also glue some craft paper over the bottom to hide that as well. Next, I have a piece of burlap from a long burlap runner I got on Amazon, and I'll link it for you, but they do have burlap in shorter pieces at Dollar Tree. I cover the paper covered box with the burlap, securing it with the hot glue and tucking the excess burlap inside of the box. I cut a bunch of pieces of my favorite thick jute that are just a little taller than the box, and I'm using some hot glue. I glue the very bottom of the piece of jute to the bottom of the box, and then I glue the jute to the very top edge of the box. First, I create 4 sections with these jute pieces, and then filling in those 4 sections with more pieces of jute until I felt I had enough of those jute pieces around the entire box that are attached at the top and the bottom of the box. To cover the bottom edge of the box, I used this nautical rope from Dollar Tree and wrapped it around the bottom edge of the box, securing it in place with hot glue. Then I used that same nautical rope at the top edge of the box, wrapping it around once and then a second time toward the inside of the box. I used a scissors to trim all the hanging pieces of jute inside the box. I cut 3 long pieces of jute, long enough to fit around the box, and I take the first piece and unravel the entire thing into 3 smaller pieces. I take the 3 pieces together and loosely begin weaving them through my pieces of jute that are attached to the box, going over, then under, then over, then under, until I get back to where I started, and I tie a loose knot with the 2 ends of the unraveled jute. And I take a second piece of jute, unravel it, and do the same loose weave above the first woven piece and end it in the same way with a loose knot. I take a third piece of jute and again unravel and weave above the second piece. I take those 3 loose knots and tie 3 tighter knots in all 3 of them. I grab 3 of those tiny clear elastic hairbands from Dollar Tree, and I gather the unraveled jute pieces and create kind of a fake tassel look with all 3 knots. Then I trim the 3 fake tassel ends and unravel them even more to really fluff them out. And this is my easy burlap woven basket, such an easy project and a lovely way to display indoor plants or greenery, anything really. A simple neutral home decor look that works for so many different styles. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these budget-friendly luxury home decor dupes from Dollar Tree as much as I did. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe to Medicated Housewife DIY for more amazing DIY projects. Until next time, remember, we're making the world a more beautiful place, one DIY at a time.